get in when this thing's already swelled out like that. You can see that right there. If this ever goes down and hits the bottom and closes off, that right there is our safety valve to keep us from exploding right there. Just gotta get it worked down in there. Your liquor's gonna come in on this side and go all the way down to the bottom. You can run a dry thump keg or you can run a wet thump keg. Dry, you just run it just like what it is. Run it wet, you can pour backings in it or whatever you want to put in there, unless you're making a brandy.
What would you put backings in there for?
To get more alcohol out of it from your last run. You can't really do nothing with that, so what you do is you just reclaim the liquor from it. So some people do that. We've run a Carolina High Country still. They're so predictable. You get your outcome is it can be reproducible over and over again with good results with that still. Is it better than any other still? Well, I don't know, but I know it's good for us, and our customers have proven it. I mean, they tend to like the product that comes out of there.
A Carolina High Country still is nothing more than a traditional pot still with a thump keg, otherwise known as a doubler. What that offers is a second distillation out of one run. As the vapor enters the thump keg, it recondenses back into a liquid. That liquid is redistilled a second time, essentially making the alcohol more pure. And then it enters the crossover pipe. From there it goes down to the worm and has recondensed into the final product.
The reason why we had to drive the truck down here is we got a lot of stuff to carry, and the road's pretty rough and wet. There's a chance you could get stuck and have to carry everything, but it's a risk you gotta take. That's part of the reason why I like doing it. It's a little bit of adrenaline going a little bit, but we picked this spot because it's way off the road. There ain't nobody around. You can't hear no cars or nothing. It's secluded. We've got a water source. We've got a lot of treetop coverage down here, and it's a good spot. We got our still site over here. It's not too far away from our water. We can run our water to our flake stand and have everything we need right here. You'd have to travel a long ways in here to find us.
Moonshine to me is something that is made illegal in the woods, mostly out of corn, but it can be made out of fruit of any kind. Technically, that's what it is, but to me, the real moonshine is corn made in the woods illegally.
To me, when somebody asks me what I think of moonshine is, what I think of is quality. A lot of people think it's something that, it's been run through a radiator or something, but me, moonshine means quality, because if you don't have a good quality product, then either you're not taking your time with it or you're lacking in something. And to me, the quality of our product when we make it means everything to me. To me, that's what moonshine means to me, is quality.
Tyler, go cut the pump on.
Explain why you would use a pump out here.
Well, what we do, because of the elevation of where we're at, you get you some car batteries and you get you a 12-volt pump, and you can get all the water you want in the world. You just bury you some black hose. And right here where we're working, we just use a garden hose right here. I mean, it's what we didn't have enough length. That's what happened. So we extended it the rest of the way with a green one, and it worked out. But yeah, you got to have this cool. And the water going in here, it's coming out of the creek, but the thing is, it can't get into your liquor. It's just for cooling. It's gonna come in here, and it's gonna run out here over there on that side where you ain't got to walk in water all day. You just get it over somewhere where you got a pretty good dry place to work. And that's how we do it. We still got to paste these joints. We got to get this full because we use this water with our oatmeal when we mix and paste our joints before we start running. And we'll have this thing kicked off here in just a few.
Do you ever feel, when you hear airplanes or you hear cars, do you ever feel kind of paranoid like they're coming at you or something?
Yeah, that's when they stay there. Now we're by an airport, okay? What I look for is them to come in slow and make a curve going that way, and I pretty much well know what that is, and it's gonna be a Cessna. That's their training airplane. When whoever's getting their license, they're gonna come in, they're gonna do the little landing thing, they're gonna come back, take off, and they're gonna come back in again. But when they sit right up there up above us and go around, well, that's a different story right there. That'll tighten you up right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
anytime you're out in the woods doing this, and you do hear a vehicle or a plane,
door shut.
or door shut, it does make you think if that's somebody fixing to come in on you or not. So you still gotta listen to everything and keep an ear out for everything that's going on around you. That way, but if they run and get in and get you with this, you're got. So you always got to pay attention to what's going on around you too.
So what, hypothetically speaking, if you heard somebody coming, would you guys just abandon ship or just you're caught?
I don't normally go jogging, but I would say that I'll be bust out into a run, and so he runs faster than I do. I was gonna say he sort out and left me before, but
When I hear somebody coming, I abandon ship.
that's what it is.
I just want to know how it is that Tyler can outrun Mike when he's always barefoot.
I've been in the woods since I was little. Never liked wearing shoes. The only time you'll catch me wearing shoes is at work if I have to go to town with my wife. Most of the time I'm in the woods, I'm barefooted. Bottom of my feet are tough.
To be a moonshiner, if you set up some mash and it gets a vinegar yeast in it and it goes bad, and or it grows a big mushroom, that was a huge mushroom that grew in it. So you got to pour that out, and you have the nerve to take money you was going to put on a bill and use that to re-rig that barrel to try it again to get your money back. Well, hell, you're a moonshiner if you can do that. That's the true what a moonshiner will do. You have a mad woman on your hands if it goes wrong that second time, I guarantee you. If you marry well, you'll be fine, which she told me that I did. So I believe her.
I think you said it pretty good.
All right, then.
I'm gonna take this oatmeal and put it around all our joints, here and around the cap, and anywhere else you think you might have a leak or something, you can put this on there, and with the heat that the steel is making, it'll seal it right up. Or other stuff, we like the oatmeal better because it peels off and cleans off better. It don't leave a real nasty sticky stuff on your steel. It's good and sticky while you're mixing it, but after it heats up, it falls right off. You can take and run your hand around it like that, and it just falls all right back off. If you get a leak in it, it's not sealed up good. One, you lose an alcohol. Two, you take a chance of making a nice big old boom. Have a nice pretty flame, or you might not be around to see the flame if it blows up. You know, there's a lot of risk in doing this, and if you get a leak, you know, you're taking a liquid and turning it into an explosive vapor.
We usually put this on before it gets hot, because if you don't, you put it on when it's hot, it peels off like a tater chip and it don't hardly stay on there very good. So we do it ahead of time like this.
Yeah, it'll be a while before you'll see if there's any places steam, but after, you know, running your steel over and over again, you kind of learn where, you know, if you're gonna have a leak or where there's already been a leak, where to go ahead and put it. Damn much sometimes you'll be sitting here after your paste is all dried and wonder why you want to eat an oatmeal cookie. It smells like oatmeal cookie.
It's in the family, and I'm a 4th generation, and it didn't seem any different than like chopping wood for winter or whatever. I mean, it's just been around and I've seen it, and not all my brothers do it. I mean, a lot of them, they don't have nothing to do with it at all. I just happened to be the one that took it up and kept the ball rolling, you know, but they never expected that we would have to do that, or they never looked forward to one of us doing it, which is, I like doing it. I never considered it a job, but I've always considered it a love. So, you know, I just picked up the ball and kept going.
I got beat into it with a stick because he got tired of carrying bags of corn and sugar. No.
That's a lie.
I got into it whenever Mike and my uncle used to run together. And then he passed away, and it was something that I'd always been interested in, learning about and doing. And then I just come to him one day and said, I'm ready to learn. Let's get to it. And everything that I know now about running or making liquor, your mash, from start to end, I've learned from Mike, and couldn't ask for somebody better to have learned it from.
Well, I got to say something. A lot of people will see him as a still hand. Well, yeah, but that's if he's working with me. But when he runs liquor on his own, he's moonshiner. And if I help him, then I'm the still hand. He's not second fiddle. He's just another fiddle. That's how I see it. And we're out there fiddling around running liquor. So
While you're sitting there waiting on that product, you have to listen to him jabber
I
on?
have to listen to Mike go on for an hour. So most of the time I just wander off in the woods and look up and wonder why. Just why. But most of the time we have good conversation. We talk about all kinds of stuff. You know, I've been working with Mike for several years, and you know, I've learned everything I know about this from him. And you know, I couldn't ask for somebody better to teach me. You know, we get along pretty good, but that hour and a half, sometimes it's rough. The adrenaline rush I get, it's not like one of them adrenaline rush you get where you're scared of what's going to happen. It's like an energy boosting adrenaline rush for me. It's exciting to me. It's a lot of people ask me, you know, don't you do the same thing every time you do it? No, it's pretty close to the same thing, but you get something new from it every time, and just the learning stuff and getting something new from it every time is something that excites me, because I like to learn stuff, and the more I can learn about it, the better I feel about it. And with that adrenaline rush it gives me and the learning thing, don't want to use the word wonderful, because you know, that makes me look, might sound like a sissy, but
well, yeah,
I learned it from. But it's just to me, it's a great experience and a great feeling to be able to be out there doing something like that. It's exciting.
At the end of the worm is the output. Oftentimes when the liquid comes out, it runs back up under that output pipe and misses the catch jug. For this reason, old moonshiners would use a dried coonpecker because of its natural curve. The liquid would follow that curve right down into the catch jug.
We don't use a coon, we use a stick in there, and that liquor will follow that instead of it can run backwards and you wind up spilling it on the ground. You'll waste a bunch of it, and it can do it before you even know it. Smell of the worm.
Yeah, you can smell it starting to come through. You can always smell this where your liquor comes out, and you can smell it pushing the smell of alcohol through. I love that smell. Man, it's one of the best smelling things in the world. Here about 4 or 5 months ago is the scaredest I've ever been. We just got finished making a run, and I had never thought about this, and Mike said he had never thought about it in his lifetime. Just poured our mash out, and me and my wife was sitting on our front porch and had a drone fly in and light up our porch. It went off. Don't know if it was the government or somebody around here flying a drone. And then I was sitting there watching it. It come over to Mike's house.
Lit up my front yard.
Lit up his front yard. I come hauling back Bud over here at 2:30 in the morning, getting Mike up out of bed. He just went to bed.
Yep.
Got him up. We was getting it through the woods, putting liquor out in different places. It's probably been the scariest I've ever been because, like I said, we didn't know if it was government. Didn't know if it was just somebody around here where we lived flying a drone, because there's a bunch of big plantations around here and some of them have drones. But
we hadn't run that still again until this interview. We have not run since the drones came in at all. That's been a big damper.
If you're in the woods, helicopter, like you were saying earlier, when you run, you get good treetop coverage, or you can even get up underneath something. But drone can come right up underneath where you're at, if you're there or if you're not there, and see your whole deal and everything. Where if you're under something and a helicopter flies over, they can look out and see down, but they don't see what's under the building.
We've had that before and just stood still, and they just kept right on keeping on. If you had a bunch of guys coming over fast roping down on your, you'd know they were going to do it. They'd make a quick turn and they'd catch you. This drone, that's made me rethink how I want to run in the future.
Right now we're just catching up a little bit for our amount so we can smell and see when we need to start catching our good liquor. And Mike showed me, or has taught me, how you can tell by the smell of it when you need to start catching your liquor you're going to keep. A lot of people say you catch a quart or a pint or so much and don't put it in with your drinking liquor. Well, we usually go by smell. Now, this is what we was talking about by the stick. You can see it running down the stick and coming to the end. A lot of times if you don't put you something in there, that's the reason why they use a coon pecker, is when it comes out it'll run back up your worm right here, and it'll go out on the ground or something like that. So all the stick does is just let it come out to the end of it and come down.
You can go out there in the workshop and work on little engines and things like that, and and they fire off and you feel good about it and whatever. But when you run a load of liquor off, or a run of liquor off, you will feel a hell of a lot better than you will when a little bitty motor fires up over what you're seeing in that catch jug. And then when you taste it, you built that. That's little bitty baby newborn liquor right there. And by God, you'll be proud as hell of it, and more proud of any other kind of hobby you can do. Now that smells good. And that tastes pretty good too. We're gonna swap these out.
All right.
See, it ain't like a quart or a pint or whatever. It's what it takes.
Oh, why'd you do that?
You can't keep that right there. You gotta throw that first bit out. You can smell the high ethanol in it. You would never want to drink that. You want to run some good liquor. You wait till it smells right. When it smells right, you start keeping. That right there, that's doing pretty good. I mean, we should have this run. It's gonna take a while on this. My burner's a little messed up. It's gonna be slow, which is good. So this run here probably wind up better than some others. I mean, you run it that slow, it's bound to be good. Think that's enough?
Yeah.
Let's shut her down. We've got almost 5 gallons.
Oh, what's this last jar, this last catch for?
For us to drink. We don't ever drink during time when we're running, but when we get done, we sure do. That's your celebration. That's your victory lap right there.
Taste?
Yeah, I did some work too. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, that'll put lead in your pencil right there, won't it?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that was good.
That'll put chesty hairs on you, belly hairs, and all kinds of other hairs.
Yep. Well, I guess it's time to load out. Call it a day.
Head to the house until next time.
Yep.
When I taste that right there, what I taste is family history, memories, people that ain't here with us no more. My mama, she died last year, and what I taste is history.
I taste newborn baby shine.
Tyler, I like the way you talk. I do. I couldn't have said that better myself.
I taste liquor. To me, pretty much I have the same idea as what Mike said. It's history. And, a lot of people don't know a lot about where it came from and how it's come to today. They just know, like we were saying earlier, the pop culture of it. It's cool and people want it, but they don't know the history of it. And like Mike said, it's been around for a long, long time, and it's just a good quality thing that good old boys like to do.
Started in our family when my daddy looked over and had one youngin' gnawing on another youngin', and he needed to feed him. And corn's 28 cents a bushel in the tub, and he finds out if he turns it into water, he can get 94 cents for it. And that buys a lot of shoes, and it eases your conscience, and it eases your mind, and it makes your life easier. That's all it was. It ain't about greed. It's about having a life and building a life for your family. That's how we see it.
Out in the woods, just a dodging the law. It's a all for one and a one for all. Liquid gold coming from the steel. That's 140 proof sex appeal. Hey, welcome to the hood. We got stars and bars and mason jars, and the girls are looking mighty good. Hey, welcome to the hood. I don't know what it's like where you call, but where I'm from, it's made good in the woods. Say this here's the land of the free, and there's 100,000 more just like me. They drink our whiskey from a mason jar, and they don't give a damn if you know.
We're the only ones that
We're
have
the only
newborn
one
baby
that makes
liquor.
newborn baby liquor
Okay.
because we're handy that way.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. All right. Did that tear you up when I said that?
Yeah.
I was getting sentimental now. I
No,
was.
that was great.
I did.
That was